Hey, good morning. This is January, let's see, it will be the 4th, right? This Monday was the 1st, Tuesday, when's it? No, 3rd, January 3rd. And we're just checking out the Arden Avenue beach. And I'll be turning the camera around. What I expect, I don't know. We'll see if we get as much jellyfish as we did down at Newdorp Beach and some other things, and you never know what we'll see. Making sure we got I'm taking my pail with me today. Samples. Usually park at Arden and Blueberry Lane. There's a place you can go down right from that point. Seems pretty calm out there right now. Almost looks like there's a difference in that. There'd be like a sandbar, which I don't know. You never know what the bottom is. I always want to explore the bottom. Just where you could see seals usually is around here during March. They start coming back. And there's a rock down at the end of Arden Avenue, so you can see the seals. There's no wind today, which is nice, even though it's 18 degrees. You go down this little makeshift doodad here. The beach. Gotta watch out for the burrs here. And wow, you can see still got a lot of horseshoe crab molts here. I mean, this is just weird that they're staying this long into the winter. So I was always wondering whether or not this is these are relatively new, or they just still had a prolonged molting season this year. Because I know the last time that I came down to do a count on them, they were less. And some of them still have this part, which if we rip one off, you can see in that zone there, although I think the skin is missing, but those two dots that you see there, it's probably a female. I'll try to get one that has a clear marker of what they are. Yeah, this is a female. See those right where it looks like a line coming down, and there's like looks like eyes that are closed. That's the place where the eggs come out of the female. And so if you find we'll try to find one that's a male. And that also looks like a female. Anyway, see these here? These are bunches of hydroids. It's an animal, actually. It makes kind of a loofah sponge type of thing. But all these little tubes are interconnected, and an animal that lives in them. That's has stinging cells. Another female. And I'm live. Yep, we're still going. Sorry about that. See here, the wood. This is wood that's been eaten out by shipworms. Those holes in there. Another piece. There's a spider crab. Spider crab. Probably a mortality, not a molt. This is a marginata, not dubia. He's got the tiny claws in the front. And you can see there, the bigger the horseshoe crab, the more likely is a female. That's a real big female. And then probably a male. Let's see. Did we get it? No. Yeah, here we go. Okay. See those two nubs there, and there? See them? Right there? That's a male. Those two little, look like eyes with a nose hanging down, a long nose. Like a mosquito face. Those are the things that spew out the gametes. Oh look, there's a molted hermit crab claw. Trapdoor, hermit crab. Oh, the tide is kind of high. Oh look, that is ice. All right, there's a nice icing up on the surface. It's the cold, I guess, is getting stained long enough. Have that go. And big honking sponges wash up during the winter, post-winter storms. And see the differences in size between some of the smaller ones compared to the bigger one. In the snow. So up at this high rack line is where all of these molts are still. I'm gonna examine the lower one going back. I wouldn't have thought that the snow would be as accumulated as it is. Oh, that was a big female there. And quahogs. Yeah, these guys. The usual. And trash. But here's another really big football size sponge that's washed up. Now this was a mortality, and it was a adult male. It's got the boxing glove there, see? So this guy is dead. Was dead. The other ones are all molts. They're still out in the ocean. What else are we getting here? Look at the ice is piling up on the shore. That's cool. There is the skull of a sea robin. And check out, oh, look at that. Water is like a slurry of ice up along the edge. Oh, look, coming in. It's staying on top, floating on the salt water. Fresh water is lighter, freezing up. You notice how long the cold will be sustained. Kind of got to look in between the snow and the sand for anything interesting. It's piled up really neat. Look, even on the bottom there, it's in between. Beautiful. Look at the chunks of the ice. Oh, look at this. Allow me to zoom. I didn't know that. See the little patches. So I guess it would be hard to see since we get so much ice here. If there are any jellies in there, we're not going to be seeing them today because so you look at the stretch of beach, how the ice is covering the sand right there. There must be water coming, leaching out of the sand, freezing right away. The moon snow. What I was kind of interested in seeing. Predators is another moon. One, there's two. There. Keep my hand in my pocket while I'm not in use because I need to manipulate things. But if you keep it out in the cold too long, you'll not be able to last. Bunch of quahog shells. This is really neat how it's froze like this, huh? All the way down there. So I wonder what happens as this freezes into the sand here, and then eventually it cracks off. It probably lifts up whatever's in the sand, brings it up on top as it floats, and then so then you end up with this line here. Always some interesting process going on. And sometimes it's interesting, you'll see the stones riding on top, and then everything gets dissolved underneath it, so the stones are sitting there like little monuments. Ooh, look at big vertebrae off of a very large fish. Almost looks like you put a candle in it and just set it down. You get a lot of striped bass. This might be a striped bass vertebrae. Interesting patterns they make. And down there's a whole lot of birds. not gonna go that far. I just usually go to the end here. And there's not as much ice accumulated here on this side. Probably headed down. Obviously the fresh water is up that way by the Hudson. And so whatever freezes, if it sustains itself, it'll end up arriving down this way maybe. Now I just go back up to the next rack line. See if there's anything here. There's still some shed horseshoe crabs up in the edge. Big sponge bundle. Red sponges. This is an old, someone's dock, which has been here since Sandy on this beach. It's got buried in the sand. There's another spider crab. There's the jaws of that's the mouth parts of a skate hanging around. And again, a big pile of horseshoe crab molts. I like to see periodically what I can get the sex of them. That's a female. Yep. Wow, that's a big one. That's a good size anyway. All right, well, we're getting to the end here where we came in, and that's where I'll end the report, showing that we still got a lot of molted horseshoe crabs on the beach. Now I'm wondering if they'll decay, and this will be good for next year's thing because, oh, that's very large. Let's see, the male. It's the only way to tell what they are prior to their getting the adult claw right there. See, that's not an adult, that's a juvenile claw. So knowing that, you have to look at the cover of what's called a book gill to get that. And then there's a thing of burrs that I was telling you about. You walk through that, you'll take a lot of gifts home. Which, we're gonna bypass that. All right, that's it for today.